Forgetting one simple greeting can be enough to make French people seem distant toward you. From the snow-covered Alps to the sunlit shores of the Côte d'Azur, France has long stood as a symbol of beauty, fashion, and sophistication. Yet behind the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and the grand boulevards of Paris lies a country shaped by social rules, dating customs, and a way of enjoying life that feels very different from what most Americans know. Time. Threes. On this journey, we will discover what makes France both captivating and difficult to understand, from greeting etiquette and culinary traditions to its slower rhythm of life. Perhaps the greatest surprises are hidden in the smallest details. Time. Threes may. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and tell us in the comments which city or state you are watching from. Number 10. France, a country spanning 12 time zones. Located in Western Europe, France covers roughly 210,000 square miles, making it nearly comparable in size to the US state of Texas. It is the largest country in Western Europe, but France's true scale extends far beyond the European continent. Thanks to its overseas regions and territories, the country stretches across 12 time zones, more than Russia. Beyond mainland France, its territory reaches into several oceans through Réunion, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and French Polynesia. This vast reach gives France approximately 3,400 miles of coastline along the Atlantic Ocean, the English Channel, and the Mediterranean Sea. Time. 3 escapes creating landscapes that change dramatically from one region to another. In the east, visitors can ski in the Alps. Farther south, the Côte d'Azur opens onto warm sunshine and famous beaches, while the Atlantic coast in the west attracts surfing enthusiasts. Within its cities, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and the Palace of Versailles continue to tell the story of a nation that has profoundly influenced European civilization. In 2025 alone, France welcomed approximately 102 million international visitors, far exceeding its population of around 67 million people. For many Americans, Normandy holds a special meaning, as millions of visitors travel there to honor the historic D-Day landings and their importance in United States military history. But France is remembered for far more than its past time. Threes. Paris is also regarded as the fashion capital of the world and is home to Chanel, Dior, and Louis Vuitton. The title of haute couture is protected under French law through strict regulations, showing that fashion here is not merely a business, but also an essential part of the country's national identity. In the world of wine, Bordeaux and Burgundy have long been considered international standards of excellence. France strictly controls the geographic origin of its products, to the point that only sparkling wine produced in the Champagne region may legally carry the name Champagne. Number 9. The style and dating culture of French women. Unlike in the United States, where dating culture often tends to be more reserved during the early stages, many French women pay close attention to their appearance while taking a more open approach to physical affection once a relationship begins. So what creates that attraction? The answer does not come from a magical secret, but from small habits practiced every day. First comes physical fitness. Although French cuisine is famous for butter, cheese, and richly flavored dishes, French women often control their portions and stay active regularly, instead of relying entirely on the gym. In Paris, a person may walk an average of around 10,000 steps each day, and that natural rhythm of life helps keep the body flexible while creating a confident way of walking. When they go outside, they often keep their backs straight, walk with purpose, and rarely appear in pajamas or wrinkled clothing, even when they are only stepping out to buy bread. Athletic leggings are also not a common choice for walking around the city, because wearing them can make someone stand out as a tourist. When it comes to clothing, many French women do not need elaborate outfits. A simple t-shirt, well-fitting jeans, and a clean, balanced combination can be enough to create their distinctive elegance. What matters is not wearing the most expensive clothes, but choosing pieces that suit the body and always appearing well put together. In their beauty routines, they place greater importance on skincare than on covering the face with heavy makeup. Light makeup, naturally styled hair, and a small amount of perfume each morning are often considered enough. In romantic relationships, approaching and flirting with strangers on the street is not especially common. Many relationships begin through friends or co-workers, but once mutual feelings are clear, French couples are often comfortable expressing physical affection. Hugs and kisses in parks or on the subway are therefore not unusual sights. That distinctive appeal comes from a very personal balance, simple but intentional, disciplined without being rigid, elegant while still remaining open and expressive. Number 8. The unwritten social rules of France. If you are accustomed to the warm smiles and cheerful "have a nice day" greetings from Starbucks employees, the direct communication style of French people may initially seem cold. But in France, bonjour is far more than a simple greeting. It is almost the required opening to every interaction, showing that you have acknowledged and respected the other person. When entering a shop, failing to say bonjour can quickly make you appear impolite, and you may receive a distant response in return. Time. 3s. French greeting customs also follow their own distinct boundaries. Depending on the region, people may exchange between 1 and 4 light kisses on the cheeks, which can feel surprisingly intimate to many visitors. However, hugging is far less common than it is in the United States. It is usually reserved for romantic partners, relatives, or young children, rather than used as an everyday greeting. Around strangers, French society generally maintains a certain distance. People rarely begin random conversations, seldom smile at those passing by, and may consider prolonged staring rude or confrontational. Once a friendship develops, however, the situation changes completely. French people value lasting friendships, sincerity, and meaningful conversations. Students are introduced to philosophy in high school, so passionate debates around the dinner table are not necessarily intended to create tension. They are often a way to challenge ideas and show respect for different points of view. Time. 3s. Inside restaurants, you should not expect employees to smile constantly as a required part of the service. Waiters receive fixed salaries, and since 1955, a 15% service charge has already been included in the bill. Because they do not depend primarily on tips, a smile or friendly gesture usually appears when they genuinely wish to express it. In public spaces, volume also matters. Speaking too loudly in Paris may be viewed as lacking social awareness, immediately identifying you as a tourist and sometimes making the local people with you feel uncomfortable. Number 7. Leave Paris to discover a completely different France. France. When people think of France, many immediately picture Paris, the Eiffel Tower, and the Champs-Élysées. But the capital is only one part of a much larger picture. Every year, Paris welcomes around 30 million visitors, a figure higher than the total number of international tourists received by many countries. Beyond Paris, you will discover a completely different France, where every region has its own landscapes, history, and identity. In the southwest, Toulouse is one of the world's leading aerospace centers and is home to both Airbus and the French Space Agency. To the southeast, Lyon is regarded as the country's culinary capital, with traditional bouchon restaurants lining streets that have existed for more than 2,000 years. Farther south, Bordeaux unfolds through vast vineyards and world-famous wines. The city also ranks just behind Paris in the number of well-preserved historic monuments. Nearby, Provence captivates visitors with purple lavender fields, stone villages, and warm Mediterranean sunlight. Meanwhile, the French Alps offer scenery just as spectacular as Switzerland, with Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in Western Europe, easily accessible by high-speed train. In the northwest, Brittany continues to preserve its Celtic heritage through granite coastlines, prehistoric stone structures, and its own regional language. Normandy is known for the D-Day beaches, coastal cliffs, camembert cheese, and the Abbey of Mont Saint-Michel. Across the country, more than 50 locations have been recognized by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites. Visitors can explore cave paintings dating back around 40,000 years, the medieval fortress of Carcassonne, and more than 80 dormant volcanoes in Auvergne. With more than 40,000 castles and countless historic landmarks, France's past seems to appear almost everywhere you travel, from major cities to quiet countryside villages. Before we continue, if you are enjoying this journey, subscribe and become part of our community. Every subscription gives our team the motivation to create even more fascinating, high-quality journeys of discovery. Will you join us? Number 6. The strict standards behind French cuisine. French cuisine became famous not because of secret recipes, but because of its strict standards. The baguette is one of the clearest examples of how France protects both quality and tradition. It is not simply an everyday loaf of bread, but an important part of French national identity. In 1993, the French government introduced the bread decree, requiring a traditional baguette to contain only 4 ingredients: wheat flour, water, salt, and yeast. Preservatives and industrial additives are prohibited, helping tens of thousands of independent bakeries compete with major food corporations. Today, around 320 baguettes are consumed every second, showing that this bread still holds a special place in daily life. Cheese inspires equal pride. France produces approximately 2 million tons each year, with more than 1,200 different varieties. This remarkable diversity inspired former President Charles de Gaulle to famously question how anyone could govern a country with hundreds of kinds of cheese. Each variety is connected to a specific region, while its quality is controlled at every stage, from the dairy cows to the conditions inside the aging cellar. Roquefort, for example, is recognized as authentic only when it is aged using traditional methods inside natural caves in southern France. The wine industry follows similarly demanding requirements. France produces around 7 billion bottles each year, while maintaining a strong reputation in the premium market. The key lies in terroir, the unique combination of soil, climate, and farming traditions that gives each region its distinctive character. French law even regulates the number of grapevines planted on each acre and the pruning techniques used during winter. A single violation can cause a wine to lose its protected geographical designation, resulting in a serious decline in both value and reputation. Through these standards, France has transformed its culinary heritage into an industry worth billions of dollars each year, while building a worldwide reputation for exceptional quality. Number 5. France's lasting influence on football history. Many people believe that England established the modern rules of football, but France was one of the countries that laid the foundation for how the sport is organized around the world. The French not only made their mark on the field, but also helped create some of the most important tournaments and awards in global football. The clearest example began with Jules Rimet, the former president of FIFA, who helped launch the first World Cup in 1930. The original championship trophy was also named after him in recognition of his contribution. Beyond the World Cup, the European Football Championship grew from an idea proposed by Henri Delaunay, the former General Secretary of the French Football Federation. In 1956, France Football magazine went on to create the Ballon d'Or, one of the most prestigious individual awards in the sport. These contributions allowed France to maintain a powerful influence on international football for nearly a century. Across generations, that influence has extended far beyond meeting rooms and trophies, continuing through the achievements of the national team. At the 2026 World Cup, France competed under the symbol of the Gallic Rooster, with a squad valued at more than $1 billion and filled with world-class stars. At the center of attention was Kylian Mbappé, a forward capable of reaching speeds close to 22 miles per hour. Alongside Mbappé, his teammates also stood out for their strength, speed, and precise coordination. France became especially dangerous when shifting from defense to attack in only a few seconds, applying relentless pressure before opponents had time to reorganize. They entered the tournament aiming to win a third world championship. Although they did not achieve that goal and finished the tournament in fourth place, France's journey still demonstrated why the team is consistently regarded as a major football power. From the individuals who helped establish the world's greatest competitions to today's generation of players, France's influence on football remains clearly visible, both throughout history and on the field. Number 4. L'art de vivre, the French art of slowing down. The French art of living, known as l'art de vivre, is not a distant or abstract philosophy. It is the way people organize their daily habits so that the quality of life is not overwhelmed by constant busyness or the pressure to remain productive at all times. Along city sidewalks, cafe tables often face the street, almost like an invitation to sit down, watch the city, enjoy a conversation, or simply experience the present moment. For the French, a cup of espresso is not only a source of caffeine, it is also a reason to slow down time. During a meal, that same spirit continues. Lunch may last from 1 to 2 hours, giving people enough time to relax and talk, instead of eating quickly and immediately returning to work. Eating a sandwich at a desk may be completely normal in many places, but in France, it is often seen as a sign that work and personal life have fallen out of balance. At many companies, employees receive meal vouchers that encourage them to leave the workplace, enjoy a complete meal, and genuinely disconnect from their duties during the day. This break is considered essential for maintaining energy and long-term well-being. Since 2017, the boundary between work and private life has been strengthened by the right to disconnect, or le droit à la déconnexion. This principle helps protect employees from having to respond constantly to work emails, messages, or phone calls outside working hours. Evenings and weekends are therefore respected as time for family, rest, and personal interests, time for threes. When shopping for food, many French people are also willing to sacrifice convenience in exchange for quality. Instead of stocking up for an entire week, they may buy a fresh baguette each morning, visit a cheese shop, or go to a local market to select fresh ingredients. For them, living well does not mean doing everything faster. It means allowing enough time to appreciate the flavor, freshness, and value of each moment. It is a deliberate choice, repeated every day, not a lifestyle reserved only for vacations. Number 3. Posthumous marriage, when love transcends death. In the heart of France, love can cross even the boundary of death in a legally recognized way. Article 171 of the French Civil Code allows the President of France, under exceptional circumstances, to authorize a marriage when one of the two partners has already died. This provision is known as mariage posthume, or posthumous marriage. The story behind it is often linked to the Malpasset Dam disaster of 1959, which claimed hundreds of lives. A pregnant woman lost her fiancé shortly before their wedding and submitted a personal request to President Charles de Gaulle. The law was later amended so that unfinished commitments like theirs could be considered, but the process is far from simple. The surviving partner must provide clear proof that the deceased genuinely intended to marry while still alive. Evidence may include official registration documents, wedding plans, invitations, or other records showing unmistakable mutual consent. Final approval is granted only by the President of France, and only when a serious reason has been established. During the ceremony, the deceased is not physically present beside the surviving partner. A photograph may be placed in their position, while the ceremony still takes place at the town hall in an unusually quiet and solemn atmosphere. Under the law, the marriage takes effect retroactively, from the day before the deceased partner passed away. However, this marriage does not grant the surviving partner legal inheritance rights, nor does it create shared marital property between them. Its value, therefore, lies not in financial benefit, but in the official recognition of a promise proven to have been genuine. It also carries deep emotional meaning for those left behind. In a country famous for romantic love stories, posthumous marriage reveals a very different way in which France preserves the memory, honor, and commitment of people who never had the chance to reach their wedding day. Number 2. France, the first country to ban supermarkets from wasting food. Behind the prestige of Michelin-starred restaurants and the sophistication of French cuisine lies a very different approach to surplus food. In 2016, France became the first country to pass a law preventing supermarkets from throwing away or deliberately destroying food that was still safe to use. Before this regulation, many stores discarded unsold bread, vegetables, cheese, and other products, sometimes even damaging them so that no one could recover them. The new law completely changed that practice. For supermarkets covering approximately 4,300 square feet or more, signing agreements to donate surplus food to charities or food banks became a legal obligation. Products no longer suitable for human consumption must be redirected for animal feed, compost, or other recycling purposes. Businesses that deliberately violate the law may face fines and further legal penalties. What makes this policy especially significant is that it does more than reduce waste. It also reflects the French view that food is the result of work and tradition, and therefore deserves respect, from the baguette purchased each morning to the cheeses associated with particular regions. When food still has value, delivering it to people in need is considered far more reasonable than destroying it. Since the law took effect, relief organizations have gained access to more food for distribution, while the amount discarded by the retail system has fallen considerably. Items that cannot be consumed directly are also returned to the production cycle instead of becoming waste. In a world still facing widespread food waste, France's approach shows how one law can connect environmental responsibility with social support. France is therefore remembered not only for its refined cuisine, but also for its efforts to preserve the value of every portion of food before it is thrown away each day. Number 1. The Louvre, a museum that cannot be fully explored in a lifetime. Beneath the Louvre's glass pyramid, you are standing before one of the greatest collections of art in the world. But what makes this place extraordinary is not limited to the Mona Lisa or its other famous masterpieces. The Louvre is so vast and complex that even its map can make any visitor feel as though they have entered a maze. If you spent exactly 30 seconds viewing every work currently on display, you would need more than 100 continuous days, without eating, sleeping, or stopping, to see them all. Before becoming a museum, the Louvre was a medieval fortress and was later expanded into a royal palace. Today, its exhibition space covers nearly 786,000 square feet and preserves traces of many different civilizations. Along its corridors, you may encounter ancient Egyptian mummies, the Greek statue known as the Venus de Milo, royal jewelry, and paintings that have survived for centuries. In one room, crowds wait to see the mysterious smile of the Mona Lisa. Only a few galleries away, a less famous work may hold your attention even longer because of the story behind it. Every room reveals a different world, while each step draws you deeper into history. That is also why no one can truly say they have finished exploring the Louvre after a single visit. This museum was not designed for people to rush through and leave with only a few photographs. It feels more like a journey that invites you to become intentionally lost, pause before a small detail, and unexpectedly discover a story you have never heard before. Within its historic halls, a grand staircase, an old doorway, or an intricately decorated ceiling can become part of the experience. The Louvre reminds us that art is not something that can be completed in a single viewing, and that some forms of beauty are so immense that even one lifetime may not be enough to experience them fully through every sense. What remains after leaving France may be more than the image of the Eiffel Tower, ancient castles, or a glass of wine beside a Parisian street. It is also the way French people value a simple greeting, make time for a meal, and protect traditions that may seem insignificant. In this country, elegance does not necessarily come from expensive possessions. Sometimes, it can be found simply in the way people walk more slowly, speak only as loudly as needed, and refuse to let work consume their entire lives. France still has customs that may leave visitors confused, but those differences are exactly what make the journey so memorable. What about you? What impressed you most about France? Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you can continue exploring new destinations with us.